Jamb Biology 2022. So we are doing the 40 questions on Jamb Biology. So that's what we are doing in this episode. So I want you, if you are new to this channel, I will urge you to click on that subscribe button so that you can have access to mind-blowing videos like this. So I urge you to subscribe, like this video, comment on it, and share the video to your loved ones. So let's dive into this topic and aspects. Let's go. So now the first question says, does that yellow fever is caused by A, black fly, B, titis fly, C, female mosquito, D, virus? You need to know what they are asking us here. They said yellow fever is caused by. They didn't say vector. Hadn't been they ask us the vector, we will be looking for maybe an insect that causes it. So the question is asking us what causes the disease, not what carries the disease. You know that we have what we call what? Vector. What are vectors? They are the ones that carry a particular causative organism. For example, the vector for malaria is female Anopheles mosquito. So that is the vector for malaria. That's the vector. But what causes malaria? So what causes malaria mainly is what? Plasmodium. Please take note of that. That's the main thing that causes malaria. But if they ask us what's the vector for malaria, for Plasmodium, you're going to say female Anopheles mosquito. But here they ask us that yellow fever is caused by what? So our answer here cannot be black fly, because black fly is an insect. Titis fly also is an insect. Female mosquito is also an insect. So automatically we cannot pick titis fly, we cannot pick black fly. So our answer here will be what? Automatically virus. So yellow fever is caused by what? Virus. So yellow fever is caused by a virus of the family Flaviviridae. So that's the name of the family of the what? Yellow fever. So they are called Flaviviridae family. So it is transmitted by what? Mosquito. Hadn't been the question says it is transmitted by, which means we would have gone for what? Mosquito. But they said it is caused by, they didn't say the vector. So it is transmitted by what? By mosquito. But the main thing that causes the illness is what? Virus. So virus causes yellow fever. Take note of that. So virus causes what? Yellow fever. So let's go to the next question. So the next question states does that a bat and bird's wings show A, divergent evolution, B, convergent evolution, C, adaptive radiation, D, parallel radiation. So the answer here is what? Convergent revolution. Why did I choose convergent revolution? What is convergent evolution? So convergent evolution involves unrelated species that develop similar characteristics over time. So examples of structure showing convergent evolution are the wings of insects. So example of convergent evolution is wings of insects. So take note of this. We have what? Wings of insects. Wings of birds. Take note of that. We have what? Wings of birds, and we have that of what? Bats. So those are the examples of what? Convergent evolution. So let's move to the next question. So our answer here is B, option B. So let's move to the next question. So which blood type is large and nucleated? That is the blood type. You know that we have red blood cell, we have white blood cell, and we have the blood platelet. I hope you understand. So they're now asking us that, and we also have plasma, right? The blood type that is what? That is large and nucleated. So our answer here is what? White blood cell. So white blood cell it has what? If you know, red blood cell don't have what? Nucleus. But white blood cell, they are large. They are also what? They are also nucleated. So our answer here is what? White blood cell. So you should notice that white blood cells are larger than what? Red blood cell. So I hope you understand that. So and also they have what? Normal nucleus. So they have what? Normal nucleus. So it is nucleated, unlike red blood cell that doesn't have what? Nucleus. So our answer here is what? Option B. So let's move to the next question. So our next question states, which part of the brain control the heartbeat? So the part of the brain that control the heartbeat is called the what? Medulla oblongata. So that's the part of the part of the brain that control the heartbeat. So that's the part of the what? Of the brain that controls the heartbeat. So let me tell you the other function of medulla oblongata. So it's not only one function. So you should know the spelling. It is O. So it is used for what? For heartbeat. It is responsible for heartbeat. Not only heartbeat. It can also be used for respiration. So please take note of that. It can also be used for peristalsis. So take note of all those things. So peristalsis. So that's it. So let's move to the next video. Next question. So our answer here is what? Option A. So let's move to the next question. So our next question states, the supporting tissues which are essential for young plants. So the supporting tissues which are essential for young plants. So they talk about young plants here. So whenever you hear essential supporting tissues which are essential for young plants, so the tissue that is responsible is what? Cholenchyma. Cholenchyma is responsible. It provides strength. And support in young growing plants. So I hope you understand. So that's the function of what? Of cholenchyma. So it is essential for it's a supporting tissue that is essential for strength in young what? In young plants. So that's that. So let's move to the next question. So which of the following distinguishes a plant cell from an animal cell? You should know that both plant cell and animal cell, both of them have, look at the option. They said presence of mitochondria, absence of cell wall, presence of chloroplast, absence of nucleus. So the answer here is what? Presence of chloroplast. Because in animal cell there is no what? There is no chloroplast. I hope you understand. So there is no what? There is no chloroplast in animal cell. So there is no what? Chloroplast. Both of them, they have mitochondria. Both of them, they have nucleus. But chloroplast is only present in what? In the plant cell. So that's what distinguishes plant cell from what? Animal cell. This option B also looks like it, but they said absence. So it means it cannot be option B. But they now said presence of chloroplast. I didn't mean they said presence of cell wall here and they put absence here, would have go for option B. But they said absence of cell wall. So it means we are still saying the same thing. So our answer here is what? Presence of chloroplast, because there is nothing like chloroplast in animal cell. And now they also said absence of nucleus. Nucleus it must be present in any cell. So there is except some cells that they don't have nucleus. So plant cell and animal cell, both of them, they have what? Nucleus. So let's go to the next question. So our answer option here is what? Option C. So let's go to the next question. So our next question here is, which of the following characteristics is used to produce disease resistant varieties? So our answer here is what? Heredity. So take note of that. Our answer here is what? Heredity. So heredity is used to create or procreate plants that are what? That are resistant to disease. So it is used to create what? Disease resistant crops. So when we use the knowledge of heredity, it helps us to create it helps us to create disease resistant varieties of crops or plants. So the knowledge we use is what? The knowledge of heredity. So let's go to, because we know that a plant that is healthy, there is high probability that the offspring of that plant will be what? Will also be healthy. So we will use the knowledge of heredity, that is inheritance, to know what? To produce a disease resistant plant varieties. So let's move to the next question. So the question here is, the shape of the hair is a type of, you should know this, that physical, we have two types of variation. We have morphological variation and we have the what? We have the physiological variation. Physiological variation. Now, what is morphological variation? Morphological variation is also called continuous variation. Why physiological is also called discontinuous? Take note of that. So now, when we now talk about morphological variation, there are differences that you observe. For example, something you can see with your eyes. For example, if someone is tall and a person is short, you will see that that one is what? Is something that is visible. You can easily identify that this person is what? Is tall and this person is what? Short. Another example is, if someone is light in complexion, you can easily what? Say. So morphological variation, it has to do with physical thing, something that you can see with your naked eye. But when we are talking of physiological variation, it has to do with something that is inner. For example, you cannot look at a person and say this is your blood group or this is your genotype, so it is impossible. So this is what? Physiological variation. I hope you understand. So differences that are physical, that are obvious, they are like what? They are morphological variation. And another name for morphological variation is continuous, and another name for physiological variation is discontinuous. Now, they said the shape of the hair. If you look at the shape of the hair, it's something you can easily identify. So it is what? Morphological variation. Now look the method they used to give us the option. They didn't say morphological variation, but they gave us continuous variation. So what do you think will be the answer? So our answer here is what? Option A. If you look at physiological variation and discontinuous variation, already both of them, they are the same thing, so they automatically what? Cancelled each other. So our answer here is what? Option A. So let's move to the next question. Which of the following is the biggest game reserve in Nigeria? So in Nigeria, the biggest game reserve we have is what? Is the what? Yankari Game Reserve. So we have what? Is the what? Yankari Game Reserve. So it is located in the south central part of Bauchi State in the north eastern Nigeria. So it is located what? So Yankari Game Reserve is the largest or biggest game reserve in Nigeria. So Yankari Game Reserve is located in what? In Bauchi State. In what? In northeastern part of Nigeria. So that's where we have the Yankari Game Reserve. So you should note that. So you should note it. So our answer here is what? Option. So don't go and pick. If you look at it, they now say Bauchi Game Reserve. So it's a trap. Don't go and choose Bauchi, but choose what? Yankari Game Reserve. So let's move to the next question. So the next question states that the association between shark and remoral fish is commensalism. What's the meaning of commensalism? Commensalism is a process whereby an animal benefits from another and the other does not benefit and the other is not affected. What is saprophytism? Saprophytism means when an organism feed on dead, uh, decaying matter. But when we are talking about parasitism, it is when an organism feed on the expense of other by affecting the other does not benefit, but it affects the particular host. I hope you understand. Then when we go to mutualism has to do with, if you look at the word mutual, it means both of them will what? They will both benefit. I hope you understand. So that's it. So commensalism now, shark and remora. What normally happen in shark and remora is that remora is a small fish. It will now be moving closer to shark. So when shark eats some fish, the particles remaining from those fish, the remora also will eat part of it. So assuming this is the shark, so the remora will just be going like this. So the shark will serve as protection for the remora, and some foods are particles that is coming out from the mouth of shark, it will be going to the mouth of remora. Remora also will be eating. So shark is not benefiting from remora, but remora is benefiting from shark. I hope you understand. So that's it. So shark is not benefiting from remora, but remora is benefiting from shark. Why shark is not affected, but remora is benefiting only, and is not contributing anything. So our answer here is option A. So let's go to the next question. Intelligence, reasoning, and memory is controlled by. So whenever you see something like this, that what is responsible for intelligence, thinking, everything, all the things, if you say someone is brilliant, what is responsible? So the part of the brain responsible for it is called the cerebrum. So our answer here is option A, which is called the cerebrum. Let's move to the next question. The part between the epidermis and pericycle in a stem is. So the part between epidermis and pericycle in a stem is. So the answer is option A. So option A is the answer. Cortex is the part between epidermis and and pericycle. So it has three parts. So it has 3 parts, which are called the first part is hypodermis. The second part is the general cortex. And the third is is the endodermis. So take note of all these things. Take note of it. So we said the tissue between epidermis and pericycle is called cortex. So it has 3 parts: hypodermis, the general cortex, and endodermis. So let's move to the next question. Syphilis is caused by A. Treponema pallidum, B. Bacillus anthracis, C. Neisseria gonorrhea, D. Vibrio cholera. So the answer here is option A. So Treponema pallidum, it causes syphilis. So that's what causes syphilis. Now what does Bacillus anthracis cause? So it causes the disease cause, just use this thing, it causes anthrax. What of Neisseria gonorrhea? If you look at it, gonorrhea has already come out. So gonorrhea is the disease is caused. So it's easier for you to know Vibrio cholera. So you should know that this one will be cholera. So cholera direct. So let's move to the next question. So So the next question states us the spider. Okay, did I mark it? So we said option A. So the spider is different from the prawn in the possession of. So the difference between spider and prawn is that spider does not have antenna, but prawn has what? Antenna. I hope you understand. So they are quite different. So spider has no what? Antenna, but prawn has what? Antenna. Has no antenna. Why prawn does. So that's the difference between them. So you should note all these things. So a prawn, so it has what? It has a pair of antenna and a pair of what? Antennae. So it's not that it just have only antenna. So it has antenna and a pair of what? Antennae. So I hope you understand. So it has antenna and what? Antennae. So let's continue. So let's go to the another question. So which of the following soil samples is most waterlogged and less aerated? When it means something is waterlogged, it means it is soaked in water. So if they also ask you this question, that which type of soil has the highest water retaining capacity, so the answer is what? Clay soil. So clay soil, it normally retain water. It doesn't allow water to pass through it, so it normally retain water. So that's the function of what? Clay soil. So it is normally waterlogged and it is what? Less aerated. So that's the feature of clay soil. So but if they ask you which one is the best for farming, so the best for farming is what? Loamy soil. So take note of all these important things. So our answer here is what? Option A. Now let's go to, so the reason why clay soil they are not they are waterlogged is that they have a very tiny particles. So they have what? Little space for air to pass through them. So that's why they are also what? Less aerated. Less aerated means they don't allow much air to pass through them. So it means they have little or no space between them. So the space is too small for air to pass through it. So that's it. So let's move to the next question. The male garment in the plant is. So the answer here is what? Pluripoem. The male garment here is what? So the answer is what? Pollen grain. So the male garment is called the what? Pollen grain. Why the female garment is the what? Oval. So take note of this, that the male garments in the plants, please take notes, is pollen grain. I hope you understand. So that's our answer. So pollen grain. So the female garment is oval. So let's move to the next question. So our answer is what? Option A. So which of the following is located at the base of the midbrain? That is, which of the following is located at the mid of the is located at the base of the midbrain? So you should know that the answer is what? Is pons. So the answer is what? C. So the answer is what? C. So which of the following is located at the base of the midbrain? That is the brain in the around the middle of the brain. So that's called what? At the base of the midbrain. So that's what? Pons. So what if they ask you what is located under the pon? So the below the pon, if they ask you what is located below the pon, so the answer is what? Medulla. Medulla is located below the pon. So below the pon we have the what? The medulla. So let's move to the next question. So which of the following is a micro decomposer? So if we ask you this question, that which of the following is a micro decomposer? So the answer is what? Bacteria. Please take note. So it's a what? So protozoans and bacteria are the chief decomposers that are microscopic. Others like fungi, earthworm, termites, and millipede are big enough to be seen with what? Unaided eyes. But when they say something is micro, it is something that's very small. So micro decomposer, you know that bacteria is very small. So if you look at all those mushrooms, they are still large enough for you to see, but bacteria, they are very small, so they are micro, that is small decomposer. Termites, you can easily see it with your naked eye, but bacteria, for you to see it with your naked eye, you may need a microscope to see them because they are extremely small. So that's why we said they are what? Micro decomposer, and they normally decompose. So that's that. So let's move to the next question. So when the blood flows from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart, the circulation is. So whenever they are saying a circulation involves lungs, you should know that anything pertaining to lung is called what? Pulmonary. So the answer here is what? Pulmonary circulation. So you should know that whenever there is circulation between the heart and the lungs, it is always called what? Whenever there is what? Circulation between the heart and the lungs, the type of circulation is called pulmonary circulation. So take note of all these things. So you should note that whenever the blood is flowing from the heart to the lungs and then back to the heart. But so now what happens when blood is flowing from the heart to the body? So the type of circulation there is called what? Systemic circulation. I told you earlier, when blood flows from heart to the lungs, we call it pulmonary, but when it is heart to body, it is called systemic circulation. I hope you understand. So our answer here is what? Option B. So pulmonary circulation, because it is between the heart and the lungs. I hope you understand. So you need to know some approach to do some questions. So Jamb may not ask you this one again, but they may just reframe it by asking you, what is the circulation between the heart and the body? So you just said it was what? Systemic circulation. But here they ask us between heart and lungs. So our answer is pulmonary circulation. So let's move to the next question. Now the order of complete metamorphosis is. Now they're asking us to what? To find the order of complete metamorphosis. Now you need to know how metamorphosis work. Complete metamorphosis, it involves 4 stages. Complete what? Metamorphosis involves 4 stages. So the stages are egg, followed by larva, followed by pupa, followed by adult stage. Why the incomplete? It will involve what? 3 stages. That is, one of the stage is missing. So it involves egg, it involves nymph. We are not going to be using larva, we're going to be using nymph. Then we have what? The adult. So I hope you understand. So that's how it looks like. Now if you look at the options, they don't use adults, they now use imago. So if they use imago, it is still correct. So the order of complete metamorphosis is A, egg, pupa, larva, imago, egg, nymph, adult. If you look at egg, nymph, adult, that's automatically wrong. But look at option B, egg, larva, pupa, imago. If you look at this, they firstly put pupa instead of firstly putting larva. So this option A is what? Wrong. They now said egg, nymph, adult. So that is also what? Wrong. Egg, larva, adult, 3 stage. That's also what? Wrong. So our option here is what? Option B. So let's move to the next question. Now in epigeo germination, what normally happens in epigeo germination? So it is a germination that is common to epigene germination is a germination that is common to dicot plants or dicotyledonous plants. Dicotyledonous plants. Now, what normally happens in epigene germination? You hear the word epi. Epi means outside and above. Hypo means below. I hope you understand. So we have two types of germination. We have epigene and we have hypogene germination. So hypogene is common to monocotyledonous plants. So you should know that. So in epigene germination, the cotyledons are above the soil. B. Plumule is below the soil. C. Cotyledons are below the soil. D. None. So the answer here is what? Cotyledons are above the soil. I told you earlier that epi means what? Above. So when we now talk about cotyledon, so the cotyledon, they are the main thing we are talking about, not plumule. So cotyledon, they are above the soil. So that's the answer. So our answer here is what? Option A. So let's move to the next question. So one of the following is associated with estuarine habitats. So estuarine habitat, you need to know what estuarine habitat means. So estuarine habitat is a body of water formed at a coast as a result of action of tides which mix salt water from the sea with what? Fresh water. So it means estuarine habitat is like it forms when sea water or marine water, when it mixes with what? Fresh water. So fresh water is a water that has a very low salinity, that is low salt content. So now estuarine is formed when marine water body is mixed up with what? Fresh water. So it means estuarine, being combination of marine water and fresh water, it will have what? Tides. So but the salinity will not be stable. It is going to have a what? Fluctuating salinity. So the salinity will not be what? Will not be stable, because the marine water is mixing with the fresh water. So the fresh water may be more than the marine water at times, and when fresh water is more than the marine water, the salinity will reduce. But when the marine water is made more than the fresh water, the salinity will increase. So the salinity is not stable. So it will have what? Fluctuating option salinity. So that's why we cannot choose option D. So option D it has cancelled itself. So no plant, there will surely be plants in it. So more numerous organisms than fresh water. So that one also is not correct. But tides, of course, because marine water mixed with fresh water, there will be what? Tides in the what? Estuarine habitats. I hope you understand. Let's move to the next question. Now, the change in genetic makeup is known as, when we talk about change in genetic makeup, it is what occur when an organism exposed itself to a particular radiation. So what normally cause change in genetic makeup is called radiation. Radiation causes it mostly. So the change in genetic makeup is known as what? Mutation. So the answer is what? Mutation. So gene mutation is caused due to what? Change due to what? Radiation. So radiation causes what? Gene mutation. That's why when you see people with Down syndrome, all those things, people with 3 legs, 1 leg, things like that. So they are what? Gene mutation. Help me understand. So they are what? Gene mutation. So there is what? The genetic makeup. It has been what? It has been altered. So it has been tampered with, maybe by radiation or some other factors. So let's move to the next question. So organic evolution theory of natural selection was postulated by. So organic evolution, the person that postulated the organic evolution of natural selection was what? Charles Darwin. It was postulated by what? Charles Darwin. But if they ask you which person postulates the theory of use and disuse, so use and disuse was from what? The theory of use and disuse was from Jean Lamarck. Why the person that work on genetics, we can also call it the father of genetics, is what? Gregor Mendel. I hope you understand. So that is the person that works, that work on genetics. Yes, genetics. So that's the father of genetics. But what does Hugo de Vries did? So the work of Hugo de Vries is mutation theory. So that's what he worked on, mutation theory. So let's move on. Let's move to the next question. So which of the following are likely to inhabit a new habitat as pioneers? A. Mosses and liverworts. B. Microorganisms. C. Algae and fungi. D. Angiosperms and gymnosperm. So the answer here is what? Algae and fungi. Why is it algae and fungi? Algae and fungi unite to form lichens. I hope you understand. Lichens. So algae and fungi, they form a type of thing that are called what? Lichen. So they normally form what? Lichen. Please take note of that. So they grow on rocks without soil. So may be among the what? First of life forms and break down the rocks into the soil for plants. So that's the reason why they can inhabit a new habitat as what? Pioneers. So algae and fungi, they are the answer for this question. So let's move to the next question. So which blood group lacks antigen? So if they ask you this question, that which blood group lacks antigen, so you should know the meaning of antigen. You need to know the meaning of antibodies. So let's talk about some blood group. Blood group A, it has an antigen of A and antibodies of B. So antigen of A and antibody of B. Blood group B, it has what? Antigen of B and antibodies of A. I hope you understand the logic. So it's quite simple. What of blood group AB? It has a what? It has antigen of A and B. A and B. And what? No antibody. So that's why we normally say AB is what? Universal acceptor. The reason why it is a universal acceptor is because it can accept any blood. That is, it has no antibody. So if you give it O, if you give it B, if you give it A, any blood you put a person that has a blood group of AB, the person will collect it, because AB is a universal acceptor, because it has what? No antibody. But let's go to blood group A. Blood group O. So O, it has what? It has no antigens. So it has what? No antigens. So it is like an opposite for AB. So it has no what? No antigens, but it has an antibody of what? AB. I hope you understand. So it is quite similar, but they are opposite to each other. If you look at it, this one, it has no antibody, but this one, it has what? No antigen. So I hope you understand. So if they say which blood group lacks antigen, so our answer is what? Option C, which is what? Blood group O. So RDB, the question says which blood group lacks antibody. We would have gone for AB, but they didn't ask us that. They asked us the blood group that lacks antigen. So let's go to the next question. So the light shading of the ventral part in fish is dash. So there are some organisms that they exhibit a pattern of adaptation, that is adaptive coloration, by maybe assuming a particular color just to prevent the predator from seeing them. So one of them is counter shading, cryptic coloration, and stuff like that. I hope you understand. So our answer here is what? Let me explain it. The fish, they form a type of they form a type of shading that they may form light parts in their ventral shape, and they may form a dark side in their dorsal part. So this type of color in adaptive coloration is called the counter shading. So it is called what? Counter shading, whereby you assume different color on different places. So it's called what? Counter shading. So let's go to the next question. So the function of the mandibulate soldier termite is. So we have termites. Termites, they have soldiers. So they have soldiers. I don't know how to draw it very well. So they normally have what we call a mandible. Mandible is like a claw, just to kind of to defend the colony or their territory. So they use the mandible to what? To defend. They are like, you know the word soldier. Soldier is to defend. I hope you understand. So their mandible is used for what? For defense. So the mandible is used for what? For defense. So the mandible is used for defense. So that's what they are using the mandible for. So option C. So let's move to the next question. So if a heterozygous tall plant is crossed with a short plant, the ratio of tall plant to short plant in the first filial generation is. Now they ask us heterozygous. Now they said it is crossed with short plant, so it means it is homozygous short. So they now say heterozygous tall, so it means it's going to be T. Let me use T as my the gene for tallness. Let it be what? T. Why the gene for shortness will be what? Small t. Now they now say heterozygous. Heterozygous means it will not be TT. Had them been they say homozygous, it will be what? TT. I hope you understand. So it will be what? T and small t. They now said it's crossed with a small short plant. So before short can be, short is a recessive gene. Before short can show itself, it means short must be what? Homozygous. So this is how we do it. Now let's cross it. They now said we should find the ratio of tall plant to short plant in the what? First filial generation. First filial means the first generation we are going to get from this. So let's do it. Let's cross it. The first offspring is TT. The second offspring is small t, small t. Let's cross again. So this one also is what? TT. Then let's cross this again. So this one is what? Small t, small t. If you look at this, how many tall do you think we have? Looking at the what? Phenotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio is what we are considering now. Phenotypic ratio. If you look at this, this is what? We have 2 tall. I hope you understand. So we have 2 tall and we have 2 short. So what are you going to do now? Just say 2 cancel 2. So our answer is what? 1:1. So our answer is what? Option D. If you are confused, the way I did it, this is what I do. I try to cross it. In genetics, if you have capital letter T like this, it means it is what? Tall, phenotypically. If you have capital letter and it means it is also what? Tall. If you have small letter, it means it is what? Short. I hope you understand. So that's why I said we have two tall and we have what? Two tall. But this small t is represent what? Short. So our answer here is what? Option D. So let's go to another question. Another question here is what? Which of the following have no nuclear membrane? So when we normally say we normally say there is a classification of plants or animals. Okay, in classification of just binomial nomenclature, all those classification by Carolus, Linnaeus, all those things like that. So now we normally say some people, they don't have, some organisms, they don't have what? Nuclear membrane. They are like bacterial organism, like nostoc, stuff like that. Now which phylum or which division did they belong to? So they belongs to Moneras. So what happens to them? What happens to them is that they don't have what? Nuclear membrane. They don't have they don't have true nucleus. So they don't have what? Nuclear membrane. So the components of the nucleus, so all those DNA, they are just floating inside the cell. Assuming this is a bacteria now, we're just going to be having some strands of, it has no what? It has no, the DNA is not banded by nuclear membrane. So they have what? No nuclear membrane. So the answer here is what? Monerans. So the answer here is what? Monerans. So let's go to next question. The instrument that measures the speed of the wind. A. Rain gauge. B. Wind vane. C. Anemometer. D. Hygrometer. Let's look at what each one of them is doing. We use rain gauge for volume of rainfall. So that's what we use rain gauge for. Wind vane. Wind vane is used for measuring wind direction. We will know whether it is going to the north side or the west side. What of anemometer? So anemometer is used to know the what? The wind speed. That is the speed of the wind. So that is the function of anemometer. What of hygrometer? So hygrometer is used for measuring the relative humidity. So that is the form of function of hygrometer. So looking at what we wrote here, our answer here is what? Anemometer. So anemometer is used for measuring the speed of the wind. Hadn't been they said the direction of the wind, we would have gone for the wind vane, but they said the speed of the wind, so we will go for what? Anemometer. So let's go to the, so it can also be called cup anemometer. So it's also what? Anemometer. So it is used to measure the speed of the wind. So let's go to the next question. The growth of algae as a result of phosphates in the water bodies is called. So the answer here is what? Eutrophication. So eutrophication is the answer for this question. So what is eutrophication? Eutrophication is the process by which an entire body of water or part of it becomes progressively enriched with minerals and nutrients. So a common visible effect of eutrophication is what? Alga bloom. Alga what? Bloom. So let's go to the next question. So our answer is what? Eutrophication. So let's go to number 33. So nutrients are absorbed from the soil by. So the nutrient that the soil uses, it is absorbed from the soil by what? By xylem. because xylem is used to transport water and mineral salt. So the nutrients are absorbed by xylem. So take note of that. So let's move to the next question. So which of the following provides surface for attachment of proteins? So which of the following provide surface for attachment of protein? So the answer is what? Is endoplasmic reticulum. So the answer is what? Endoplasmic reticulum. So let me explain. So endoplasmic reticulum may be what? Rough or smooth. So the surface of a rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosome attached. So we have two types of endoplasmic reticulum. So we have the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and we have the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we have the smooth, we have the rough. Now why do we call one of them rough? The reason why we call it rough is because we have ribosome. Assuming this is, so we have what? Ribosome on top of them. That's why we call what? We call them what? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now what's the function of ribosome? The function of ribosome is that they produce what? Protein. That is, they are responsible for protein synthesis. So that's why the question says which of the following provides surface for attachment of protein? So the only organelle that provide surface for attachment of protein is called the what? Endoplasmic reticulum. So I hope you understand, because we have two types, one is smooth and one is rough. So the one that is rough, it has presence of ribosome on top of it, so that's why it is rough, and ribosome produces protein, so that's why we say the answer is endoplasmic reticulum. So let's move to the next question. The following are classes under Arthropoda except crustacean, Platyhelminthes, Insecta, Arachnida. So let's look at the classes under Arthropoda. So under Arthropoda we have crustacean, we have Myriapoda, we have Insecta, we have the Arachnida. These are the classes under Arthropoda. If you look at the option, which one do you think is odd? So the answer is option B. So option B, they are flatworms. They are phylum themselves, so they cannot be under Arthropoda. So the answer is what? Option B. So they are the one that is except there. So accepted there. So let's exempted here. So let's go to the next question. The function of trichocysts. So whenever you hear the word trichocyst, the function of trichocyst in paramecium. So the function of trichocyst in paramecium is that it is used for defense. So that's the function of trichocyst. So trichocyst in paramecium is used for what? Defense. So let's go to the next question. The ability to move the ears without moving the head is called what? If you look at this feature also, if you look at this the person, can you tell that this person that I see, can you quickly say, because I see this person is going to move the hair without moving the head? You cannot say, though you can say this person has a big ear, but you cannot say this person has this particular characteristics. I hope you understand. So you cannot say that it is what? Something you can know, except if the person show you that I can move my ear without moving the head. It is not something you can quickly see. I hope you understand. So it is not physical. So it is something that is what? That is physiological. If you look at the option itself, it has already given you answer, because continuous variation is the same thing as morphological variation. So it cannot be option C, it cannot be option B, and it cannot be option D. So the answer is what? Option A. Because if you see a person, you cannot judge that this person that I see now, you can move the ear without moving the head. So you cannot say until the person just show you that truly I can do it. Rolling of tongue now, unless I show you my tongue that I can roll my tongue, you cannot say that I can roll my tongue. I hope you understand. So that's it. But if you look at the shape of the hair now, if the hair is somehow long like that of rabbits, you will quickly know. So that one is what? Morphological or continuous variation. But something that you cannot know unless the person show you is called what? Physiological variation or discontinuous. So let's move to the next question. So the next question states, does the base of RNA has a pair of? So what happened in RNA is that instead of having thymine, uracil is replaced with what? Thymine. So in DNA, what normally happens in DNA is that cytosine is paired with guanine. So they are complementary pairs. That is cytosine and guanine. They are what? Complementary pair. Why adenine and thymine, they are also what? Complementary pairs. But in RNA, what normally happens is that in RNA it is also the same, but thymine is replaced by uracil. Hope you understand. So that's the only difference. So in place of thymine there, you can now put what? Uracil. Now if you look at the option, which option do you think correlate with it? So the answer is what? Option C. So you can see how easier it is. Just replace thymine with what? Uracil. So that's it. So let's move to the next question. The following are seedless except fence, mosses, algae, gymnosperms. So all these are seedless. Fence, mosses, algae, they are what? They are seedless except gymnosperms. What are gymnosperms? Gymnosperms, they are from the spermatophytes. Spermatophytes, they are seed producing plants. So they are grouped into two. We have the angiosperm, we have the gymnosperm. So angiosperm is later divided into monocotyledon and dicotyledon. So gymnosperms, the difference they have is that they have naked seed. Their seed is not enclosed. I hope you understand. But this one, their seed is enclosed. So they are seed producing, or so they are not seedless. So then they now ask us the following are seedless except gymnosperms. So the answer is what? Gymnosperms. So let's go to the next question. Which of the following uses flame cell as its organ of excretion? So you should know this: earthworm, insects, fish. Now what does insects use as excretion? So insects use trachea for their what? For their respiration. So they use what? Trachea for respiration and amphibian tubule for their excretion. I hope you understand. They use trachea for respiration and amphibian tubule for what? For excretion. So please take note of that. Why flatworms? What do flatworms use? So flatworm, they use what? Flame cell. They use what? Flame cell for what? For their what? For their excretion. So the answer for this one is what? for this question is what? Option A, which is called what? Flame cell. If you have gained something in this video, I urge you to like, share and subscribe. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can have access to mind-blowing video like this. Subscribe, please subscribe. Bye.